question is specifically to a woman. So if something was wrong, if you're feeling pain or aches, or you're just thinking that something is wrong, the question is now going to come on your screen. So if you felt that something was wrong, who would you contact for a chat or book an appointment to think, you know something, I need to speak to someone about this? Who do I contact? Who would I go to? I need to speak to someone because I'm not comfortable with what I'm experiencing. Who would you go with? So don't be shy, just read the question and choose a response that you think the person that you would go to. And I'm going to give it a little bit more time. And then we'll move on to the next question. We'll share the results and we'll move on to the next question. So who would you contact? A gynecologist, an osteopath, a neurologist, a medical missionary, a nurse, none of the above. All right, I can see a few of us in this room. All right, I'll stop this one and hopefully more of us can take part in the second question. So the majority who read and took part this morning says they will contact a gynecologist. The person who looks after the womb, the female reproductive system, and these people felt that they would go there first to find out what's going on, and then of course they will take whatever approach that comes after. All right, let's stop this one and I'll share the second question. The second question is, how many tubes are associated with the womb? How many tubes are associated with the womb? How many tubes are associated with the womb? For those who are just joining, we're just doing a quick poll this morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome to you all. I just remember that I'm actually not seeing who is pressing what answer or response to the question. So just feel free. Let's just have fun this morning.
Is that a trick question?
Pardon?
Is it a trick question?
No, no. And let's just say that all the questions here is some of them will be, of course, controversial. Someone depends on how you read it. You may think, oh, maybe one, maybe two. But the main thing this morning is just to break the ice, let's get us familiar with getting back to remind us about the course that upcoming course today, later on today, and starting this. Yes, so and feel free to discuss if you think it's just one. I'll stop sharing now. And the poll, and I'll share the results. So majority for those who took part says it's 2 tubes. 2 tubes. Okay. So the lady who asks us now, is this a trick question? Is it a trick one? Well, we know we're talking about okay. Well, you probably do you want to give some thought on this, sister, who just mentioned this now?
No, Sonia, I'm not.
Okay. So we know we have the Philippine tubes, two right, one on the left and one on the right. And this is exactly where this question was going from.
Yes.
So, yes, not a trick one. Yeah. All right, great stuff. Let's look at question number 3. Now this question is coming from cancerresearch.org. It says 3152 cases of cervical cancer recorded during the years 2015 to 2017 in the UK. Do you think this is true? Is it false? You probably thinking, well, I'm not sure. Or, you know what? I think it would be higher.
It looked like, I think that is it, I can't remember.
3152 cases of this particular cancer. So we know there's other cancers of the womb, because all the questions are around looking at the womb this morning. So
Can't remember.
You remember? No, don't worry about that. Yeah.
Oh, it's still on volume. Let me cut off.
So 315 cases of cervical cancer recorded during the year 2015-2017 in the UK. All right, I'm going to end the poll now and I'll share the results. So majority of you said, actually, this is true. And some weren't too sure. Well, this is actually from cancerresearch.org, UK. And these are the numbers that they shared that are recorded of cervical cancer in the UK. Cervical cancer and also uterine cancer are on the increase in the USA every year. And I checked that up to 2020. So just to bear in mind of these cancers and just to have a check, just in tune with yourself, with your body, you know, and if you just feel as if there's something quite not right, of course, seek help. All right, I'll share the results. Okay, stop sharing. And then I'll go to the next question. Question number 4. Only 1 in 4,500 women are born without a uterus. Do you think that's true or not? Can a woman even born without a uterus? Is it possible? 1 in 4,500 women are born without a uterus. True or false? I don't really know. Not sure. Still thinking about it?
If he's a woman.
Mm-hmm. Can a woman be born without a uterus? Can she even be born without a uterus? All right. And I'm going to end the poll and I'll share the results. So majority of us in this room saying yes, 1 in 4,500 can be born without a uterus. Do you know that the technology has increased? Okay. And the first baby that was born in 2014 in Sweden, of course, wasn't developed in a uterus in the natural way as we know it. Only 2014, first baby. So yes. But 1, and the answer is true. The response that I'm looking for this morning is true. All right. And my last question. Let me share this. All right. It's usually no bigger than a pear and can expand to the size of a watermelon. What am I talking about this morning? It's usually no bigger than a pear fruit, shape of a pear. We know English pear, but it's conference pear. I'm just referring to the pear that I'm accustomed to in the UK, and can expand to the size of a watermelon. Is that the stomach? Is that the womb? Is that the uterus? None of the above. Well, you know what? I'm not sure. I don't know. Just remember, I'm not seeing who is actually choosing what answer. Just pick an answer. Is it the stomach? Is it the womb? The uterus? The uterus is the womb. It's usually no bigger than a pear and can expand the size of a watermelon. What's your response? I'm going to end now and I'll share the results. Okay, right. So a few of us have said, well, the stomach, okay, the womb is coming out on top with the most responses, the uterus also. So we know the stomach can expand. The stomach is quite small when you overeat, and even when there's something to be wrong, you may have a growth of some sort and it pushes out the stomach. Yes, that's true. The womb of course, in its natural state without, just trying to get into this one. Yeah, the womb, which has the majority of responses, and of course, the uterus. Now, the uterus and the womb interchangeably, as some people say the uterus and some say the womb. But the response that I'm looking for this morning is the actual word womb.
Yeah.
Yeah, the womb. So, of course, in the first trimester, well, before pregnancy, any conceived, of course, the uterus is so, the womb is so small, okay? And then if the woman becomes pregnant, which conceives, then within the first trimester, the area grows to the size of a grapefruit. And by the second trimester, the size of a papaya. And of course, the third trimester, when baby is almost ready to be delivered, of course, that's the watermelon. All right. I want to thank you for those who took part in the poll this morning. And I will stop sharing now and hand over to the next speaker so that you enjoy the rest of the program.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Sister Sonia. I hope you found that enjoyable and informative. And now we have our beloved Dr. Gandhi. Dr. Gandhi is in the country, way far away from London, and he will be sharing with us country living, the journey so far. He has been giving us updates, and we can't wait to hear what he has to share with us this morning. Is it afternoon for you, Dr. Gandhi?
Yes, it's afternoon. It's actually 20 minutes past 12.
Okay, good afternoon to you. It is over to you. We want to hear what you have to share with us. Do write down any questions that you have, because Dr. Gandhi will be taking questions at the end of his presentation.
Thank you, and good afternoon, everyone. In fact, it's nice that I can be here again and share the journey so far on our country living. You know, for some of you who were there at the time I was sharing my story, we moved to the countryside last year. Last year, September, it's when we found the place, but we actually moved to the country place February this year, 2021. So I can say we are like, February, March, April, May, about 4 months in the countryside. And a lot has happened. We have also learned a lot. And these are some of the things that I'm going to share with you right now. In fact, I did plan to share the story in pictures, but somehow my laptop is misbehaving. So I have to share it verbally. I would have loved that you could see the pictures of the place. You could see what is going on there for the past 4 months. So our place is somewhere in the hills, 10 kilometers from Lake Malawi. That's like our small sea here in Malawi. And we are just at the lake view. So when you are sitting or standing on the hills, what you see on the east is this beautiful lake. But on the hills is also green and beautiful, rich with vegetation. That's what attracted us to buy this place. We love the green, we love the nature, we love the indigenous trees, and we also enjoy the indigenous fruits that you find in this jungle. The jungle is rich with a lot of tropical indigenous fruits that some of them, I don't know the English names. Maybe the thing that you can be familiar with are things like the sour soup and some of those, the golden apple and things like that. Some of you may be aware of them, but it's really a beautiful place up in the hills. Now, when we moved in February, it was like, wow, finally we are here. We have been praying about it. We have been working hard to make sure that the home is habitable and we can move and stay in that place. to be there, it was so exciting. I remember the first night, we arrived, it was so refreshing to hear the birds singing early in the morning, when you are living in the city, you wake up with the sound of the traffic. But this time around, we had to wake up with the sound of birds singing, praising God. So it was something amazing and something exciting. But the first thing that we realized when we get there, that we had to start now working on the land in the way that it can produce food for us. So we looked into a number of things. We discovered that there are things that we can harvest in 3 months, in 2 months, and then you have the long-term ones, like the fruits, like bananas, which may take 1 year, and the papaya, which may also take 1 year, and the pineapples, they also take about 6 months to 1 year. So we discovered that if we have now to start, growing our own food organically, and maintaining this virgin land, which was like, we had to cut down some trees to create a place where we can grow something. We discovered that we needed to learn a bit about organic farming. So we collect some materials from different resources, how to make compost, how to do mulching, how to economize when you're trying maybe to water your garden, so that we don't use those methods of irrigation that are expensive or will require lots of water, especially during the dry season. And we decided to start with those things that we can start eating at least in 3 months. So we planted rice. Rice takes 3 months here in Malawi for you to harvest. We planted okra. We planted some vegetables, the spinach and the cabbages. We planted the tomatoes. We also planted the sugarcane, which will take a year. We planted the bananas. And on the fruits, we looked into strawberries and the mulberries and all types of berries. Some of them, they take 4 months, some they take 6 months. But we said we want to start eating something, also soon now that we are here. So we also tried planting some maize, some sorghum and millet. I was passionate about medicinal plants, and my wife, she was more passionate about planting and growing food. So I planted some artemisia on the garden, some hibiscus flowers, the marigold, the echinacea, and I was more passionate about all these medicinal plants growing around the home. So it is easier when we get sick. You can just chop this and chop that and put it together. And I think if I had the privilege of showing you pictures, you would now see just last week, we were harvesting our first rice. And it was exciting because we love rice. We have been eating rice. My wife, she's very good at cooking different dishes of rice, biryani and everything, but we have never grown it. So this was actually our first time to plant the rice. And we did just a small portion of our land because we said, no, we don't know how to take care of rice. We may plant a lot and the birds will come and eat everything. So let's start a small portion first. So we decided to start with a small portion of the land, planted a small portion, and then it was so exciting when we were doing our first harvest of this delicious rice that we have here, especially here in Malawi. We have a special variety of rice which everybody likes. And it was more exciting, when you're eating the rice from your own garden. Yeah, it is 10 times better than the one in the shop. I think mostly because of the emotional attachment to it, that I planted it, I took care of it, and now we are enjoying it on the table. Then for the last month, I've also been enjoying okra, and it was basically, it was mainly my children who went into that adventure of planting okra. I've got 2 girls, age 12 and 10. The younger one, she's 2. So these 2 other girls, they are the ones who said, we want to plant okra. And for them, it was also very adventurous. Their first time to plant something since we get out of the cities. And when they started seeing this okra making flowers, and then they see the okra itself maturing and ready for harvest, ready to be cooked. You can't believe it. We were eating okra almost every day, because every day my daughters will say, I want to go and get some okra from the garden. We want to go and get some okra from the garden. They were just excited to see that what they planted, they can now, harvest, cook it, and put it on the table. A very nice adventure, especially from the homeschooling perspective. I saw what, manual work really does in building character, especially in children, and also, teaching them some discipline, teaching them patience, and knowing that, if you really plant something, one day you harvest it. So it's really very exciting, and I think this is one of the things why we desire the country living. We are looking for an ideal environment for homeschooling, because the homeschooling curriculum, especially the one that we are using, the sunlight one, it encourages the family to live in the countryside, where you can learn from the Bible and the book of nature. And we could never find a better place like where we are now. And the hibiscus, it's also maturing, and we have been always drinking hibiscus tea. And in our case, we like mixing hibiscus with artemisia, because as a medicine for malaria, you can prevent malaria, or you can treat malaria by combining these two. Hibiscus boosts your blood volume, while artemisia is antiparasite. It actually kills the parasite in the body, the malaria parasite. So that's why it is critical for us to have this medicinal plant at our garden. And we also have some wonderful indigenous aloe veras, the giant aloe veras that are known to treat shingles, the anti-candida, they treat stomach ulcers. So we also try to make them part of the beauty of the home. We planted them around the house. They are not just for beauty, but they're also for medicinal purposes as well. And we had a piece of land which we didn't know what to do with it, because the time we bought it, there was just a jungle of wild grass. And we said, wow, we can't keep this jungle of wild grass. It may end up being a game reserve of some dangerous snakes. So let's try to put something useful. So we removed the jungle and we planted sunflower seeds, thinking or assuming that, okay, if the sunflower seeds would do well, and we have sunflower harvested from our own piece of land, we don't need to spend much money, going to the city to buy sunflower seeds for our delicious sunflower spread for breakfast. Now the sunflower is growing, is blossoming. What is more exciting to me is not even the sunflower seeds, but the flower itself. It's beautiful. It is making our place look more beautiful. And I wish they can remain like that forever. But unfortunately, they have to mature. The beauty have to go, and we have to harvest the seeds and eat the seeds. Maybe we'll plant new ones. But now it is gorgeous. When you're looking at the picture, when you're standing somewhere and just look at the side where the sunflowers garden is, it is just beautiful, when you see the colors. And a friend of ours also told us, since you're in the countryside, this is time you can also consider bee farming. So I've never done it before. In fact, many things are adventurous. We enjoyed buying honey from the health shop, sunflower seeds from the health shop, but now I have to be the maker. They knew we construct about 30 beehives for a start, just to see how it goes. And a friend of ours advised us that if you can get the marigold flower, the yellow one, and you plant it to where you want to put your beehives, you're most likely to attract more bees. So we did that, and we started planting the marigold on the other part of the jungle where we have the beehives, a little bit far from the house, because you don't want to have bees visiting you every day in the house. So we just chose a portion of the land which is a little bit far from the house where you can have the beehives. And these marigolds are also, they're adding to the beauty of the place. And what is even more amazing are the colorful butterflies that I've never seen before, that are coming because of these flowers that we have planted to attract the bees. So sometimes we go there just to take the pictures of the butterflies, and you wonder, oh, these butterflies here before. The interest, I think, also in nature is growing as we learn from the sunlight curriculum. What are butterflies, their life cycle? As we teach the children and they can see these beautiful butterflies flying around, and then they get the story, they can connect in their mind, and nothing becomes so real to them like that. It really makes this country living just an ideal classroom, for learning character, for learning from the book of nature. We are actually learning from almost anything that we see around the garden and around the farm, and especially that we have opted to go organic. We are also preserving a lot of these natural insects that you never find them in your garden. If you are using chemical fertilizers, they actually disappear, because the environment becomes unfriendly to their existence. But when you use organic methods, we combine a bit with what other people call permaculture, but we don't use it all of it. We just take the good out of it and leave the bad, or what we don't agree with, like the combination trying to use plants to protect plants. So before I could not think of, growing chilies, the hot chili, because I was only looking at it as something that you take inside your body. It will cause some stomach ulcers, but now I know that hot chili is actually a good natural herbicide if you are trying to prevent your cabbage and some of your vegetables from being eaten by insects. All you need is to crush the hot chilies, the fresh one, mix it with water, put it in a spray or a water spray, and you spray your garden with these hot chilies, and you have saved them from being eaten by insects instead of spraying deadly chemicals, which can be harmful to the environment, harmful to you as a consumer of that product, and harmful to anything. So I'm learning to see that even in comfrey, the herbal that we have always loved to plant at home just as a flower, we can actually use it to make liquid fertilizer, which we can apply in our vegetable garden and have healthy vegetables. So we are learning so many things, like even the groundnuts. We have been gathering groundnuts, plants, as people are now harvesting groundnuts in their gardens to make the organic compost just by mixing grass, some groundnuts, which is very plants which are very rich in nitrogen, and then we mix that with some green leaves, some dry leaves, a little bit of soil, and then start putting all on it. I could have shown you a picture of one of the beautiful piles we have of this organic compost. You make it 2 meters wide and 2 meters up, and then within 8 weeks, you have organic fertilizer equivalent to 40-50 bags of fertilizer that you can actually make your own without the people in sharing knowledge. Because the other thing that we did when we came here, we decided to visit some of the country dwellers who have been in the countryside for a while. We went to appreciate how they do gardening, how they do take care of their homes, how they do bee farming, how they do mushroom farming. And the mushroom farming is now a current project that I'm doing with my children. We just visited a friend of ours who has been in the country for quite a number of years, and they are very good with the mushroom growing. So it was one of our adventure trips as a family. And when we came back, we started taking the maize stalks, putting them together. We want now to steam them. After steaming them, we put them in the bags, put them in the mushroom house, mix them with the seeds, and see how it grows. So this is also our very, very first time adventure. Hopefully next time when I'm sharing again, you see me eating my mushrooms that are coming from our mushroom garden. But we have also been thinking about these long-term plants that, yes, you plant them now, but you don't really eat them right now. Like the cassava, we have cassava, quite a large piece of land, maybe about a hectare of cassava, which takes about 1 year for you to start harvesting or to start eating some of the cassava roots from the ground. We also want to plant some yam. We have planted the sugar canes, the bananas, the pineapples, and the papayas. All these things will take about a year. So we expect towards the end of the year to start, or beginning of next year, to start enjoying the harvest from these 1 year planted. So yes, from the gardening side, I can say that that's how far we have gone. But we also decided to go into growing flowers, especially surrounding the home, because we have also plans. They're not just a plan, it's actually a project in progress, because we are currently putting up bricks to put some treatment rooms. So we have a home wellness center. I believe that a country home is the center of influence. It's not just a hiding place. We're not just trying to stay away from everyone, but it has to be a lighthouse on the hills, a place of healing, a place of health, a place of education. So we want to have a training center on the hills. We also want to have a lifestyle center on the hills, but the lifestyle center may be the first one, because we are now putting up bricks. We are also renovating, organizing some 2 rooms that are already existing as a part of our home, but outside the home, so that we can start this lifestyle center. So we're going to start with a treatment room, maybe 1 treatment room. Then we keep on adding the rooms as God is opening the doors. We have found a place to be a very good healing environment, as it provides a lot of fresh oxygen from the trees, because the home is just surrounded by beautiful giant evergreen trees. And it's got some hiking trails where, if you want to go for hiking, if you want to go for a walk, that means the New Start program when it comes to walking, whether it's working in the garden or just hiking at the hill a little bit, or just going up the hill so that you can have a beautiful lake view on the east. It's just an amazing place. So even though initially we were just looking at it as a place for us to stay and have our home school, our home garden, our home this and that, now we have discovered that it is actually the best place to have as a center of influence, where health evangelism can take place, where we can touch people through their health, through Bible schools, through cooking schools, through even gardening classes. We think it's just that place where one can say, okay, let me come and learn this, let me come and learn that. So we want to make it more of a learning center, and also inspiring other people who are planning to go to the country, who just say, I want to go to the country, but I don't know where to start. So they can come to our home, we can share them our story, and they can see that it may take only about 6 months to have some sort of food security from your garden, if you plan your things well, if you understand where about the crops, the short-term ones, the mid-term ones, and the long-term ones, and what it takes to grow this, what it takes to grow that. There are always lessons that you learn along the way. Like, for example, we planted the watermelons during the rain season. Very few of them survived. Then we discovered that, in order for the watermelons to do well, because we do get heavy rains in the hills, the best time to grow the watermelons is not the rain season, but the dry season, so that you can control how much water you apply to them. these are some of the lessons you face some difficulties, but they're not really challenges. They're just lessons that you learn along the way, because each part of the country is different. The thing that can grow in one place may not do well in another place. And there are also things people will tell you that, oh, we don't grow things here, that. But when you try them, they do well. And sometimes even to know the best season to grow what, especially if you're trying to grow new things that the people don't normally grow in that particular part of the countryside, it becomes a learning curve. And this is what we have learned with a few things. And there was a time we just throw some pumpkins somewhere to our shop. We had lots of pumpkins from that small plantation. And, we said, had we known, we could have planted a lot. They had a lot of pumpkins. But now it was also a learning curve. We are seeing things that are doing well, that, cucumbers do well. We had also just a few cucumbers on the piece of land because we didn't know if the cucumbers can do well or not, but now we know they do well. So everything that happens, it's a lesson, and it's a dynamic living because every day is different. There's no more routines like the ones that you have in the office where you pick this file and put it there every day. Every day is unique. Every day is actually beautiful. Every day is amazing. Every day has got its own exciting stories and its own challenges. There is a lot to talk around the table because a lot is happening that you're doing together as a family. The beauty part of it that I've seen about this country life is that it brings the family together. I've never seen ourselves, enjoying the emotional bond between us and our children. Like this time when you have to work together, to pray together, to eat together, spend the whole day together as a family. Unlike those old days when I had to leave home early in the morning and come late in the evening. But now I'm really a dad who's at home, not just a Father Christmas who appears now and then. This is really has been beautiful as far as quality of life is concerned. We have also seen a lot of outreach opportunities that we were not aware of, especially the time that we were coming this side. But of late, we have been doing quite a lot of outreach of communities. We have been doing cooking classes in the communities. We discovered some needs in the community, especially for mothers, like how to the villagers, how they can prepare meals for their under 5, not to prevent malnutrition. Most of them, they do have food. They just don't know how to combine it well or how to prepare it better. And we also had the opportunity of reaching out to the young people, through cooking classes, as well as also doing quite a lot of evangelistic community programs in different parts of the area. So we discovered so many of them that we didn't know that they are there. And sometimes we think everybody or every part of the country, the gospel has been preached, the everlasting gospel of the 3 angels message. But now as we move out into the outskirts, we realize that these outskirts homes are also becoming hotspots for the proclaiming of the 3 angels message to people who have never heard about it before. So we praise God for his guidance. We have seen his mighty hand leading us each step of the day. It has never been easy, but it has been wonderful. It has been beautiful. It has been full of miracles. We can actually write a book about it because we have seen the hand of God that still intervened. There have been times when we were tempted that, let's take a break on this project. We need to get finances first. But every time when we're feeling like taking a break, God will just open a door. When you feel like taking a break, God will just open another door. When you feel like, making a pause, another door is opening. Then we have realized that, this move to the country, it is actually God's calling, and he is the provider. He is the one who makes it possible, and he is the one who makes it succeed. All we need is to trust in God. So may the Lord bless you. I hope this has inspired someone. And yes, next time I should be able, I think, to share you some pictures of how far the place looks like now. Before it was just a jungle, but now it is a beautiful jungle. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Gandhi. Multitasking here, but I've been inspired. I'd like to come to Malawi. I want to know how to plant rice, how to grow rice, my own rice, So a few things. Now, opening up your home, I must say I love the ceiling. Did you do that, Dr. Gandhi?
I beg your pardon?
The ceiling in the home that is above your head?
No. No, we had to find people who can do it.
Wonderful.
I haven't been that skilled yet. I know how to mix herbal medicine and other things.
Very nice. I know in a year, you've done quite a bit. So praise the Lord for making the work go speedily so that you can be effective in your location. Regarding opening up your home to educate and encourage and empower folks so that they can do it for themselves. They say, if you give me some food, you're only doing that for a day. But if you teach me how to prepare my own food and to produce it, then that's for life. So we thank God for that ministry that you have over there. And then teaching young mothers how to combat malnutrition. Wonderful. So we have in Dr. Gandhi a great teacher, and I've seen in the chat where folks were asking, one person in particular were asking about the herb for malaria.
Okay, it is called Artemisia. Artemisia, it's I think a scientific name which you can easily find it on Google.
Can you do the chat, please, Dr. Gandhi? Spell it for us.
Okay, let me try to go to the chat and see if I can type it there.
All right. And in the meantime, I know that men are not so great at multitasking, but I'm going to ask you this question. Someone was interested in knowing about herbs to keep snakes at bay or plants. Thank you. Artemisia annua, that's the name of the plant for malaria. Regarding snakes, how do you deal with them?
That's a very good question. Especially where we are in the tropics. So it's not unusual to meet a black mamba in the jungle, or a green mamba. But, it's not like they're everywhere all the time. If you know how to control them or how to chase them away, they may not come closer to where you're staying. So when we came here, we asked the locals, because they've been around for a while and none of them has been bitten by a snake. So we had to learn the wisdom, how have they survived? So it's very easy. This is what they do. We find that every home has what we call a lemongrass. They'll plant lemongrass in their gardens, lemongrass surrounding the home. They'll also plant onion and garlic. For some reasons, some that I've never studied myself, it looks like these snakes, once they smell garlic, onion, and lemongrass, they'll never come close to that place. So they'll look for another residential area to have their home.
Wow.
Not your home. They'll look for another jungle where they can stay other than your home. If they can smell lemongrass, garlic, and the onion. So these are the common things that people plant, and we have them all over home. And the local people also introduced us to some flowers, which I don't know their English name. They are green and beautiful, and you just plant them as flowers. You can plant them closer to your home, in some parts of the home. They say they also produce a smell that is nice to us. When you're smelling them, they've got a beautiful smell, but they say the snakes don't like it. So if you have those kind of flowers in your garden or close surrounding your home, the chances of you seeing a snake coming or walking around the house are very rare.
Wow. Well, lemongrass, amazing. I can see why they would be repelled by the garlic, but thank you, brother, Dr. Gandhi, because those are not even rare. Those are common. So we have access to those readily. I know there's a plant and it's called snake plant. It actually grows upwards and it shapes, it's got a narrow shape to it. And it does when you look at it like a snake standing upwards, upright. But I don't think that's the one you're talking about to ward off the snakes. And one more thing, you would think that watermelon would want a lot of water, but do not plant your watermelons in rainy season. You will not get the best watermelons. So that's my takeaway as well. And let me just see if there's any other questions for Dr. Gandhi there. Okay, so there are more questions for Dr. Gandhi. Dr. Gandhi, thank you so much. Sorry we weren't able to see the slides, but I do know that technology can fail us. You're still here, so we thank God for that. We thank you so much. I'd love to come and see what you're doing there, but I'm not going to fly. So I rely on the Zoom to see what's happening in your region. We thank you for your dedication. We thank you for supporting the AGMM. You're there through thick and thin, sunshine and rain. You are a blessing to us, and we thank you. We pray that God may continue to bless your ministry and multiply it, and that you will reach all whom you can in your corner of the sphere. God bless you and your family, Dr. Gandhi. How are the children?
Thank you so much. Thank you. My children are 12, 10, and 2.
And how are they? I know they must be enjoying that region and all the things, learning on the job, so to speak.
Yeah. We wish we were here 10 years ago. Yes.
Yeah, we're late to the party, but God is merciful, and He is just, He's blessing us in rapidity, So
yes.
Equally as we've been slow, God has been merciful and gracious, and He's outpouring. I see that in my own life, and so many others who are trying to do what God called us to do. So thank you, Dr. Gandhi. And now we're going to turn over to the AGMM team, because we have our womb course coming up. And we know that the womb, the acronym that we've coined is Women's Only Means of Giving Birth, or Words on Mind and Body. This is important for life, and the AGMM has gone to lengths to prepare insightful information to empower our ladies and our gentlemen, because we are also touching on the prostate. Okay, so team, are you there? Can you hear my voice?
Yes, Michelle, we can hear your lovely voice.
Wonderful. For our viewers' sake, what would you like to share with them this morning so that they may want to come to taste and see how great God is, and how womb health is important to the functioning of society, a good society? So before the team comes and says anything, I just wanted to share, I was watching a video on YouTube, and there was this little man. He was blind and he was autistic, and he sings like a bird, beautifully. This little boy was born at 26 weeks, very premature, and he was in intensive care. He was blind. His mother was on cocaine when she was pregnant, and the baby was severely ill. But God, in his mercy and wisdom, spared his life, and he's touching so many lives, you know, but he could have had a, what would I say, better quality of life, even in early infancy. Now, God is too wise to be mistaken and too good to be unkind. So he is still ministering, even though he's challenged these ways. So we want to just say, you know, take care of your temple that God has given to you, especially when you have to bring another life into the world. So we at the AGMM have come together, sat down with experts, doctors, consultants, and we are going to share with the world, all and sundry, who wants to learn more about keeping the womb healthy. Sorry, one moment, please. Yes. Okay. But this morning we're giving you tasters. Our course, unfortunately, we have to charge because we have expenses, but it's minimal. We are currently, it's £75 for anyone who wants to come. And if you're challenged, but you still want to come, do contact us. We are here to help. So do contact us. If you want to come, you're challenged, you cannot afford the £75, do contact us. All right, because today at 6 p.m. UK time, we will be kicking off. I'm going to turn you over. I can see Sister Florence was there smiling with me. And I think she's ready. Yes, Sister Florence.
Hi there. Hi everyone. Hi sisters, brothers, AGMM, everyone. Well, this is the day. I say this is the day the Lord has made, you know. We should be glad and we should rejoice in it. Like I said, this is a golden opportunity, an opportunity that is very rare, extremely rare in the sense that this is a unique course. You know, it's called the Womb and Prostate course. And we want to cover areas of the anatomy and physiology that are not normally looked at. Some people are afraid to talk about it. I mean, let's ask a question. How many of us actually sat with our mother or our father or even our grandparents and spoke about the womb? And spoke about periods, about the menstrual cycle, about having pain down below, about, you know, what is going on gynecologically. How many of us actually did that? Real speaking, especially amongst the Black community. And so when you ask yourself these kind of questions, you think, actually, I don't think it was ever spoken about. People did things in secret. They got pregnant in secret. They had, you know, intimate relationships in secret. And then they would have a baby and everybody would hear about it. But the challenges they go through, not only around the womb, as Michelle has highly pointed out, you know, about women's only means of giving birth, it's not just about that. It's also about the challenges they face emotionally, psychologically, the number of people they come in contact with, the parental advice versus the conventional advice. The course is amazing because what you will get is medical professionals giving them their first-class hand experience of what is happening in the hospitals, what is happening in the birthing centers, what is happening with some of the issues around the womb. So we're talking about A, for anemia, B, we did say we're going to talk about breast cancer, but this time around, we've got enough on our plate around the womb. So the following subsequent courses, we will go even further until, you know, within the anatomy and physiology of the human being. Then we've got A, B, C, you've got the cervical cancers, and you've got loads of cancers situated inside the womb. Every woman's womb has one issue or another. They don't have to, but we've noticed the statistics and evidence is there by research, and that's what we're going to bring out on the course. So tonight is one that you cannot afford to miss. We have a consultant, Patricia Ellis, an absolutely amazing woman. She spoke with us last week. These are the kind of people that you will find in the gynae ward, in the hospitals, in the surgery, that will give you advice. They are our own people. They work with AGMM, and they are available and ready to support you on the course. This is an amazing opportunity. And then, we've got to C, then we've got D, dysfunctional uteruses. Some people can't even get pregnant. We're going to be able to deal with that this time around. This is such a voluminous subject. And then we've got E, endometriosis, and the lovely Sonia, who spoke to you earlier, is going to be covering that. And then after E, we've got F. The most common thing, very high statistics with Black people, especially Black women, fibroids, extremely, extremely common. And people don't understand why. We're going to be tackling that issue of fibroids, so don't miss that section as well. Every night from 6 to 8 p.m. and some nights 8:30, so that we can cover these issues. You will see professionals presenting to you the medical diagnosis, the signs and symptoms of problems with the womb and with the prostate, because we thought we cannot leave the men out. So if you're a man, please bring, tell your male friends to join. Michelle's giving you the details of the payment opportunities. Please, contact us directly if you've got issues. And we are saying that we want to cater for our own community. And I know there's some people out in other cultures, which Asian culture, Chinese culture, Spanish culture, other cultures that we could and should be looking at to learn or even adopt some of their methods in our healthcare practices. The most important thing on this course is that we are going to learn prevention, preventive measures, and also natural approaches. Okay, so when we say natural approaches, we know that for those of you who have been on the vegan nutrition training course or you've been on the AGMM, there are some natural remedies that we've been speaking about on these forums, on these platforms. And to top up our health conditions, we need to understand what really are the best natural approaches and remedies to some of these problems. So I can't say too much, otherwise I give it all away. Please contact us right now. Please, Michelle, if you put my number also on the chat so that people have it. And I'm sure the other members of the team, Davina, Sonia has already spoken, Michelle. There's also Sylvie, who's working in the background. They're doing an amazing job. And Lonel, who will contact you for registration. Please don't miss this opportunity. If you know of someone struggling, especially around the womb area, this is the opportunity to bring them on. And so, like I was saying earlier, with the alphabet, we got to F, and then it goes on to G and H, hysterectomy, and P, all the P's. It's a lot, and it's something that I'm sure this 1 week is not going to be enough. And once the demand is there, we will definitely hold this program again, but we don't know when, because it is hard work to get it all together, as the team will tell you. All right, so brothers and sisters, I smile a lot because, I'm God's blessed and highly favored, and I know you are as well. And I really want you to come on the course. I'm sure you will look back and say, wow, if only I knew. All the best, and God bless you when you attend tonight, 6 to 8:30 today, the 6th of June, 2021. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you, Miss Beloved Midwife Florence. I've just let Dr. Ellis in. Maybe she will want to say 1 or 2 words. She is very, very behind the scene. That's where she functions. That's where her strength is. She does not like to be in the forefront, but I may call on her in a little while. Sister Davina, I know that you would like to share something with us. Are you there? Hello.
Sister Michelle, as we wait for Sister Davina to come on, I just want to say something on the back end of Sister Florence, just to say also for the mothers who are on this in this Zoom now who have teenage girls, okay, appealing to those mothers and parents to ensure that the teenagers are in the Zoom later on, or yourselves. Because oftentimes, and also let me just pick up on this point that Sister Florence mentioned, that, you know, or other sisters from other races, okay, we can learn so much from them and share that information, because for a young girl, young lady to go through menstruation and have all this PMS, that is not normal. And when we don't talk about these things, we just accept from mother, from aunts, from siblings, and from generation to generation that it is so. This is what, as a girl, this is what I have to experience. This is what I have to look for in life, but not so. And it's so enlightening that there is another way how we can live our lives, because God wants us to live this abundant life, okay? God is interested in every aspect of our lives, and including our health. And he wants us to be healthy. And so, yes, he did mention about pain will come, but there are ways how we can manage these pains, these monthly pains, much better than a lot of us are facing. Of course, when we talk about endometriosis, it affects womb across the world. Wombs, all wombs across the world. So no matter what race you're from, PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, again. So just let us come to learn more about this and do some real deep in-depth studies and experiences and testimonies that how we can overcome. And even if you've gone through it, but you know someone who is, but you'll be more, have that knowledge to share with others that it's not okay to have those things, but how we can better deal with it, and also prevention of that as well too. Thank you, Sister Michelle. Over to Davina.
Thank you, my dear. Just before Sister D speaks, I remember that in my younger years, I didn't understand, but my first day would be, I would have diarrhea. And of course, there was no internet at that time, but no one was able to really tell me why I would have diarrhea on the first day of my cycle. Later on, I found out that one of the things is, they say if you have issues with your bowels, like if you are constipated, you're not drinking up your water and so on, when you're coming on, it is going to bring on the runs. And so it would do a type of cleansing, you know, but I wouldn't be able to function that day. So again, mothers need to know these type of things to express that to their daughters and help them along the way. So it is not just about big issues that you would have with the womb, but to understand how the body works, how it functions. This is all that we will be covering. And Dr. Pat Ellis will be doing the physiology and anatomy of the female reproductive organs. So we need to be here to learn and hear these things so that we can deal, empower, and edify the future generation. Okay? Sister Davina, are you here?
I'm here, Michelle. Morning. Thank you very much. Let me see if I could give you a little view of my lovely, beautiful location. Are you seeing me? Okay, you can. I'm not really seeing much of the location because of where I am at. All right, nonetheless, I want to say, look, I had fibroids back in I think about 2012, 2013, and I developed mine because of I had the most interesting diet. Right, I used to feast on the flesh of animals, and I used to drink everything called alcohol thereabout that comes in a bottle. I never drank water. I enjoyed my coffee and my tea, and I really just had the lifestyle that would cause any disease. And fibroids is one of the things that I had. And yes, I took contraceptives and all of that, but I got my fibroids resolved, as in dissolved completely, when I went to a natural remedies clinic in 2017. And I was put on the most aggressive bowel cleanse there is, and a very aggressive program, raw program, for a little while. And in it was about maybe 3 months or less, about 3 months it was, that it was completely reversed, and there were no more signs or symptoms. So all the pain and infrequency and everything that I used to have, all of that went after, I completed my treatment program with quite a bit of herbs and stuff and routine, but it worked naturally, and my problems disappeared and disappeared forever. Now, as you know, my daughter, who will probably share her testimony on the class as well, she had, I can't even remember what it is now that she had, but I used to have a situation like this. If her period starts when she's at home, I would have to, she couldn't go to school. And if it started when she was at school, they would call me to come and pick her up. So it used to be a situation like that. Many times she literally just fainted at home. The extreme pain that she was in, it was almost like birth pain. That's what the doctors actually said when they had diagnosed her, that she was actually experiencing what was similar to birth pain. And I got to the stage where I couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't manage to see her in all that pain anymore and the risk. So I took her to the very same clinic that I went to, and they put her in a program as well, one for teenagers. And in 2 weeks' time, she was sorted out. In 2 weeks' time, her problem was sorted. She was fixed. And what she does now, I mean, she's a teenager, so she still likes certain foods, but she knows the herbs and she knows what to do, right? If she should ever have any problem. So she will come to me and she will say, Mom, can I get one of them detox nuts? Or can I get some Corella and spirulina? She will ask for the things that she knows she needs. And when she gets out of line and she starts feeling like first month and she starts feeling pain where she probably have to take something over the counter, by the time she finishes her period, she's ready she goes on her program and does maybe about a week or 2 of good health. And then that keeps her maybe for another 6 months to a year, symptom free. So just want to say, we will be sharing some of the natural remedies with you that we have used over the years, that others have used, that have helped them to take back control of their life and of their children's lives, and to make the quality of their life improved. So we'll be sharing some of that, and we'll be looking into fibroids in a little bit of detail, some of the symptoms and signs, some of the investigative procedures that if you go to your doctor, what are some of the procedures that they will do to help to diagnose the situation, especially if it's related, let's say, to fertility or, the things, different procedures that they can use to diagnose the fibroids. We will also look at the causes. So in terms of fibroids, mostly you will hear that the causes are unknown or it's hereditary. However, there are other causes that are outside of the conventional book, so to speak, that we will actually look into, which is highly lifestyle and dietary, and how you can actually eliminate these from your life and how you can help to make yourself at least risk, or reduces your risk factors. So with that's from me, and I really do hope to see you all later at the course. And please share and spread the word. It's half the price. And as Michelle says, if you're having challenges, pain, just contact any one of us from the team, and we will be able to work something out in terms of like a payment plan with you, because we do understand the times, the financial insecurity times that we are living in, and we are here ready to help everyone who desires to get this information You yourself will benefit from it. Your children will benefit from it. Your grandchildren will benefit from it, as well as your neighbors and other relatives. So thank you very much. Judith, I can see your hand raised. Go ahead, please, with your question.
Yes, Davina, I desperately need to speak to you when we finish. ASAP, please. Thank you.
ASAP.
Yes.
All right, no problem, Judith.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks. Yeah.
Sister
You're
Davina,
welcome. Anyone else? Yes,
there's
Michelle.
better sound than hearing cock-a-doodle-doo at this in the background.
It actually sounds
That's what you get when
amazing.
you're living in a country, Michelle.
Yes, it's very authentic.
That's the
very
alarm clock
authentic.
around here.
I'm really jealous, actually. It sounds amazing.
Anyone else have a question?
So, Michelle, can you just mention about the male reproductive organs? I didn't mention too much about that, so that we sell it, that there is a male doctor who's going to be available as well for the men. Thank you.
Yes, we will have Dr. Wesley, thank you, Florence, who will be dealing with the prostate. We have our beloved brother, Dr. Luke, who will be dealing with testicular cancer, you know, so our men are challenged. And it's not just, it takes two to reproduce. Well, according to the scriptures, because I mean, sometimes you can go off and get artificial insemination. So let me just clarify that. But yes, our men needs to be addressed. And we have our two main presenters, Dr. Wesley and Brother Luke. So get the men on board, because I know, as someone who works with clients, male and female, I have more female clients than male. Very few of them take their health seriously, and that's very sad, you know, but help is here. And sometimes I think they try to just fob things off, and then when it pounces up on them, most times it's too late. So we're dealing with early detection, early response. Prevention is better than cure, but sometimes we don't do that. Yeah. So we need to get our men on board. Come on, sisters. You have husbands, you have brothers, you may have sons, uncles, cousins, friends. So do get them to come, because it will be a blessing to them. The timetable, I don't have to hand right now. I could tell you that those dates, but it's nice to have couples too, you know. Come on in. Let the husbands get to hear what the wife is suffering. She's not just being miserable. She's not just saying I have a headache or a tummy ache for the sake of it. She actually is suffering. So we want the men to understand how the women function, and our women to be more empathetic towards their husbands. You know, stoppage of water is what I was told that men had when I was a little girl. I was wondering, what on earth is that? Okay, it's when the prostate is enlarged, it interferes with how your urine flows. And you will, Brother Luke, he is very vivid in his presentation. So he will make sounds and he will tell you when he goes to the urinal, and he'll listen. So you will hear a psh, you know, it's firing all over there, or you hear a psh, stop, you know, little drips and drip. Yeah, you're having some issues, brother, if that is you. So please, sisters, share the good news. Get the men on board. Let them come. They should have been here this morning so that they could hear for themselves. But 6 o'clock is when we start, UK time. I know that will be 12 p.m. Jamaica time, 1 p.m. in New York and Toronto. And there is where I leave it. Okay, so do and try and find out what time that is in your local area. So that's the prostate and testicular cancer. Young men need to come. I do know that with the lockdowns and so on, they were given advice to young people, or everyone really, because you're not allowed to go in other people's space, that you can still enjoy yourself without being in presence of your spouse, which the Lord does not sanction. But our young people have been led down a path, and it's a very dangerous path. It affects the brain, it depletes the system of your vitals. You are actually ensnared. So we want to get them out of that, to deliver them from, or emancipate them from the bondage of sexual sins, so to speak. Okay? Anyone else would like to say something? Dr. Pat, are you able to say a few words? Dr. Ellis? Sorry to pounce on you, Dr. Ellis.
So Michelle, until Dr. Ellis comes on, I just want to say, typically, when a woman has fibroids, we're often told to take the oral contraceptive pill.
Mm-hmm.
This actually increases our chances of developing fibroids. When a girl is young and we're having painful menstrual period, they're often given the oral contraceptive pill as well. And this increases their chances of developing the fibroids. And what you find later on in life is that many suffer from infertility as a result. Now, this is very sad that one of our main solution, or the main solutions rather, all have a dead end of infertility. So it's contraceptive pills as a solution, or you can have hysterectomy.
Mm-hmm.
The options are not very, they're not very pretty. We know the pill has a lot of other stuff in it. Not just does it increases your risk of infertility, but they cause other problems as well because of some of the ingredients that are in them that the body just does not appreciate, right? They're unhealthy ingredients. And then your other option is hysterectomy. When do you get to produce and multiply?
Ah, that's right. That your only means of giving birth is via your womb. If you take it out, you won't be able to do that. And I know that there have been lots of women in their 30s who've had a hysterectomy. Some have gone for myomectomy. Yes, and because they have not been educated in making the changes, they still carry on doing the things that they were doing that contributed to the fibroids coming. And so they come back. Yes, and then they have to go.
A lot of ladies.
Yes, sir.
A lot of ladies, after they've removed everything and the fibers come back, they just cannot understand how. It just pops up anywhere else because there is no disease without a cause. So while modern science may not be aware of the cause, it doesn't mean that there is no cause. There is no disease without a cause. And for a disease to be fixed, for it to be resolved, you have got to remove the cause. You cannot cover up the symptoms, right? That's a temporary thing. So you could get to go to a party, that's all. But you need to fix the problem by removing the cause. So once the cause remains, the problem will come back. And if you do feel relief, because the body also tries to fight for itself, so you may feel some temporary relief. But if the cause remains, the disease will come back. And don't think that removing an organ is really a solution to a problem. No, because our lovely doctors here will tell you that the likelihood of it coming back or coming back somewhere else in the body is also a possibility.
Yes, very true. Educate is what we're told. We need to educate folks so they understand that you cannot eliminate the cause without making the changes, okay? You have to make changes to get rid of the cause. You cannot just deal with symptoms. Symptoms is not going to help you. For temporary relief, you may have to deal with the symptoms straight away, but you have to ascertain the cause and then help nature to rectify the problem.
Yeah,
So very good point,
exactly.
Sister. Thank you.
And you know what else, Michelle? A lot of times we have certain daily habits, normal things in sometimes it's cultural, sometimes it's just in our own lifestyle, that it's just a part of our life that we do regularly. And we would be surprised to know that they are a main contributing factor to our problem. And one that I know nobody really talks about, right, because it is so personal, it is so private, it really steps into the bedroom, is excessive sex. Excessive sex actually contributes to the growth of fibroids, and it also affects our men. So, as I said, we don't talk about it because this is a bedroom and we do whatever pleases our partners. And some of it is excessive sex, but we pay the price. So we want to look at a few of some of these things, and then excessive sex and you develop fibroids and you can't have sex because then sex becomes painful. So you have too much of it in one go and then none of it. So let's strike a balance.
Yes,
Are you hearing me?
There's a lot of noise in the background, sis. But yes, temperance is what
Yes.
we're told to observe. So too much of one thing is good for nothing. All right. So we need to be balanced.
Exactly.
It's going to deplete you. Now, though you may be going to lengths to have this release, so to speak, it depletes you of a lot of your vitals, okay? The brain, if you notice, wives will know this, the husbands tend to fall asleep while she wants to talk about the world and fix all the problems in the world. The husbands fall asleep. Yeah, they're drained, okay? And so that is a telltale sign in and of itself. Now, we had Sister Michelle on some time ago, and she spoke about how all of your zinc is utilized in that event, okay? So we want to be temperate, do what is good moderately, and avoid that which is harmful totally, all right? So we know that when we're married, we believe that the bed is undefiled by the husband and the wife, but you can defile the bed, yes, with the things that you do in it and how often. So there are many things that God's people need to be aware of and conduct ourselves as Christian, living sacrifices, holy and acceptable. That's how we ought to be. And just a side note, all animals that were sacrificed were non-meat eaters. Think about that, all right? And I'm not talking, just think about that. If we are to present our bodies as living sacrifices, holy and acceptable, which is a reasonable service, then go and ponder and ask the Lord to show you what I just mentioned.
Yeah, and Michelle, just to add, just to what you're saying, which is my final bit. A lot of times, solutions to our problems are also in our kitchen cupboard. A lot of natural stuff that you would normally put on your plate can be used externally as well as internally in different ways, in different combinations, that can actually be used to shrink fibroids naturally. However, we know that when it comes onto natural remedies, the patience and diligence that it requires, most of us refuse to grant ourselves, right? But we could sort ourselves out just from our very own homes there. We could prevent it in the first place, and when we do have it, there are natural things that we could actually do to shrink these, to remove them naturally. But because of impatience, lack of diligence, we rather lose our womb.
That breaks my heart when I hear it, because I know so many who have gone down that route, and they've opened up a can of worms. Depression sets in, mood swings, all sort of, some of them are suicidal, and it is a sad reality. So we're not going to lament the point. We just want to let you know that we're here for you. We have information to help you. And if you can, make the appointment. Come and join us this afternoon at 6 p.m. If Dr. Ellis is here and she can hear me, Dr. Ellis, would you like to share anything with us this morning? I'll give you that opportunity. And then we may have to wrap up early because we have a team meeting. We just have to do some final touches for later. Okay? Any questions as well? Does anyone have any questions for us? And they answered her not a word. Okay, team?
Yeah. I was just going to say, well done, Michelle. Thank you so much for holding the fort together there. It's amazing. It's a great opportunity to say a big thank you to everyone who's been so patient on this forum, the AGMM account. Sorry, I'm not showing my picture. Is it coming up? I'm not sure.
Yes, here, I can see you.
All right, yeah. So I'm just saying a big thank you to everyone for being so patient and understanding. It's just amazing how humble and so blessed you all are to even sit and listen to us going on and on about the womb course. And seriously, it's because we care. That's the passion behind it. We care. We want our brothers and sisters to feel well, to be well, and not to have to keep tripping into the doctors for all sorts of, unnecessary, conventional or even medical interventions. And so, we pray that the Lord will bless you with good health, and that our children and children's children will not suffer some of the things that we have had to go through, or that we're aware our family and friends or even our older folks have gone through. So yeah, thank you so much, Michelle. A vote of thanks, really.
You're welcome, sis. In the meantime, we just want to say that the AGMM thanks you for your support. As you know, we are a self-supporting ministry and we accept donations. We are in need of some donations, and so we're putting out an appeal to the public that if you can support us, you please do so. We accept via PayPal or directly into the account. Just give me one moment as I try to share my screen, because we have some other events coming up where team members, we have our own ministries, and courses are being done to teach you some more. Yes, how to cook, how to prepare delicious, beautiful meals in your own kitchen. Okay, restaurants are not what they used to be, but you can have your own restaurant at home. So our Sister D, please say something about your course whilst I do some stuff in the background. So here you can see.
Okay. All right, lovely. Thank you, Michelle. So this is my vegan nutrition, cooking and nutrition course that is on offer starting July 5th. We have a taster session on July 4th, but it officially starts July 5th all the way to graduation day is Sunday, August 1st. You do get a CPD certificate, classes are Monday to Thursday. Monday to Thursdays. So the course will be offered 2 times for the day. It will be offered on UK time, and that's 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. UK time. And it will also be offered on Jamaican time. So that's 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Jamaican time. So it's twice in the day. So you can select the class that is most convenient for you based on where you live. So if you live in the UK or in Eastern Europe or Central Africa, the UK class may be most convenient for you because that's 5 to 8 p.m. Most of you would probably be home by then or on your way home from work. If you're in Jamaica or Canada or the US or the Caribbean, then 5 to 8 p.m. Jamaican time will be most convenient for you. The cost of the course is £200, or the US equivalent. Because I am Jamaican, and if you are living in Jamaica, there is a special discounted price for you. What you would need to do is to contact. Oh, shut up. Sorry about that. I may have to move. Okay. So this is what you get when you live in the country, all right? You get the barking dogs and the crowing roosters. It's all fun. Now, if you're living in Jamaica, as I was saying, and you will be paying in Jamaicans, I have a special discounted price for Jamaicans. Boosie as well has a special discounted price for those in Central Africa. So you could contact her for that, and you could contact myself. We have Loy and Myrtle, who is also doing registration for this course. So you can also contact them if you've got their contact details. They will also be able to tell you a bit more. The course, when you do this vegan nutrition course, you are looking to accomplish a life that teaches you how to reverse diseases, how to use your medicine as food that actually tastes good. Because we know some of the stigma with vegan food is that it doesn't taste good. People know that it is good for their health, but they don't enjoy it. Now, this course teaches you how to make absolutely delicious, out of this world vegan food that you will absolutely love. It will blow your family's mind away. It will get everyone on board eating and enjoying the food, right? So you will learn how to make vegan cheesecakes, and that is several different ways. So there is not one way. We have about 4 or 5 different ways to teach you how you can make your vegan cheesecake. We teach you how to make your vegan lasagnas. We teach you how to make enchiladas, Mexican cuisine, your quesadillas. We teach you how to make frittata. We teach you how to make your whipped cream. We also try, as a part of this course, to utilize ingredients that you would normally throw in the rubbish, right? Things that typically you grow up throwing that in the rubbish. We teach you how to turn this into food, and not just food, but gourmet food. Right? We also teach you how to present food so that the taste buds are awakened and saliva is being produced and the stomach is ready for digestion. So when you present food, people must eat the food firstly with their eyes, right? It must look so appealing that everybody must be popping out their iPhones first to take pictures of it, right? They must be wondering, where do I start eating first? They shouldn't want to mess it up on the plate. So we teach you how to present food aesthetically so that it will appeal to one's appetite. We also teach you about food combinations. Okay. All right. Yes, you can contact myself if you want to register. My apologies, Michelle.
Put your number in the chat. Thank you so much. So
Okay, I will
hope
do.
that is working your appetite. And we have, oops, 1 second. Adonai, they are hosting a retreat on the 25th of June to the 2nd of July. And you can take a screenshot of this flyer. There it is. It's £400 per person. And that includes your stay at the hotel. You can use the sauna. You get body massages. There are outdoor activities, natural therapies, some more vegan cooking classes, free health consultations, which is not, it's included in the price, all right? Natural body care products, and they're making them. So you have the workshop there. It is jam-packed, so do support the ministries as they seek to extend the right arm to strengthen the body, all right? That's our bodies, okay? And we are here to help others so that they too may be well and that they may prosper and be in health. With that, we also have Eden Reform is having our Gospel, Medical, Missionary, and Literature Evangelist course coming up on the 21st of June. This will be run over 4 weeks, Mondays to Thursdays, from 3 p.m. UK time to 9 p.m. Now you may be wondering, what will I get? This is a 3-month course. You come to class for 4 weeks. You have our support in the class. We're covering the modules. There are 42 of them, which won't be done in 4 weeks. However, you have 3 months to complete the coursework on your own. It is a certificated course. It's BAGI covered, and you will get the class workbook if you pay for the full package. You also get the answer key, which most of the answers are in that manual. That's your companion guide. You also get a complete health reference manual with a plethora of lifestyle diseases covered, cooking classes, menus, all these things, menu planning, combinations, everything is covered in there. And that comes with the package. You also get, and these are all in PDF forms, okay? The Natural Remedies Encyclopedia, you get the Medical Missionary Manual. If you cannot afford the full package, any size donation registers you, all right? So you can come to class for the 4 weeks for that. You also have the option to upgrade. But if you didn't have, and you can only donate what you can afford, then you come to class. You will be covering the modules that are covered in class. You can fill those in your your workbook. And then you have to find a way to complete, but we are not going to omit or eliminate anyone. So do come. We have Dr. Luke, who will be there as one of the presenters, as well as myself, Sister Sonia, and Brother Steve. JD covers the mind health, powerful stuff. So do come. It's £225 for the full package, or $300 US. As I said, any size donation covers you. So you can message me on WhatsApp. My number is in the chat. It's on here. Take a picture and we can take it from there. All right. We also have Pastor Moore. Pastor Moore, Eden Gospel Ministries. So we're told that we need to go back to Eden. So we have Eden reform, right? We're making reforms to take us back to Eden. Now we have Pastor Moore's ministry, Eden Gospel Workers Ministry, EGW. And he is over there in St. Mary, Jamaica, and they are doing some wonderful work. He spoke about gang farming, and that might sound a little bit ominous, but it's actually a blessing where farmers unite, they work in concert to build each farm. So a project is done this Sunday, next Sunday, they tackle the other farm, weed out things, help the farm to grow and to build and empower the community. So do support Pastor's ministry as well, because you never know. You may be able to come and join us as well. Okay, so put your widow's mite in to help and support the various ministries. We thank the AGMM for bringing awareness to other ministries. And we also are asking if you could help us by making your widow's mite donation. It will go a mighty long way. We have but a short time to complete the work, and the means are low. The enemy still has majority of the means, but heaven has an abundance that we need to call upon for heaven to download to us. In the meantime, I will just share one more thing. Okay, so this is about our course this evening at 6 p.m. UK time. And here, fibroids, endometriosis, early puberty, early menopause, all these things affects us negatively, all right? All this will be covered this evening straight through until next Sunday, bar Sabbath afternoon. There was a question regarding contraceptives. We're not able to just give that information out. Sis, you can contact us and we can speak some more. But there are natural things that people do and they consider to be contraceptives, all right? And for the men, the prostate, okay? Our men, Black men, Jamaica has one of the highest ratios of prostate cancer in the world. Okay, why is that? We're asking questions, we want some answers. And not all Jamaicans are of the richer melanin hue, not all, some of them are Caucasians, but they were born here, they're Jamaicans. Our ratio of prostate cancer is one of the highest in the world. So we want to know why, and we want to address these things and help our men not to suffer with these things. What are the aims and the objectives? Is to create awareness of the diseases of the male and female reproductive system that constitutes high risk and death at childbirth among Black women. We have still mothers, and that is not good. Babies come into the world, there's no mommy there for them. 5 out of 6 women in the UK who die during or just after childbirth are Black. That's not good, all right? So we want to prepare our young Black women for motherhood, for the future. We also want to teach you how to understand the structure, the functions, and physiology of the male and female reproductive system. To discuss the epidemiology, causes, signs, and symptoms, investigative procedures of the key pathologies affecting the Black male and female reproductive system. To compare the conventional and the natural treatments of the key pathologies affecting the Black male and female reproductive system. So we are covering for everyone, but for some reason, those of whom are of African descent are affected more negatively. So we may be focusing because they suffer the most. So it would be unfair not to highlight the problem, okay? But it's not a race issue. It's not against any race, but we have to focus on where the problem lies, all right? To identify the preventative measures of the key pathologies affecting the Black male and female reproductive system. These are payment options via PayPal. Association of Gospel Medical Missionaries is the email that, the name of the association, and our email is, actually it's not there, it's association, ASS, could someone put that in the chat for me? Association of GMM at gmail.com. All right, now you can use the bank. The name of the bank is Wise, formerly TransferWise, and the account holder is Association of Gospel Medical Missionaries Limited. The sort code is 231470, and the account number is 578-94858. Take a screenshot if you need to. If you're in a foreign country, you can pay into the account. If you're in the USA, take the information down. Oops. Oh. Actually, this is the UK version, but do contact us if you're having any issues or if you would like to join and you're having some issues because you cannot afford the £75. Whichever way, make contact. Our numbers are supposed to be in the chat, and you can email us at associationofgmm@gmail.com. Without further ado, I just want to say thank you all for tuning in. Thank you to each and every one who participated, and a big thank you to Dr. Gandhi, who was telling us how his ministry in a year has grown exponentially, how God has blessed the ministry, and we too can contact Dr. Gandhi if we would like by actually take his numbers in the chat. If you want to know how to grow your own rice, if you want to go to that region where you can plant, you can contact him for more information. His home is open to those who would like to learn more. All right. Any questions before we say au revoir?
Yeah, I have a question.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, unfortunately, I got kicked out of the meeting at some point, so I can't see Dr. Gandhi's number in the chat. It's all right if you put it in again, if you don't mind, please.
All right. Yes, that's fine. Anyone else? Okay, so Sister Florence, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here, Michelle.
Could you please close for us in prayer?
Okay. All right, everyone. So let us pray. Our kind and most gracious Father in heaven, we just would like to say a big thank you to you today. Once again, Lord, as usual, you have come through for us. This has been a wonderful, amazing gathering of your people, coming to the feet of Jesus, coming this morning together because you've woken us up to see a new day, and we are very grateful. We thank you for Dr. Gandhi, who is able to share with us the wonderful work he's doing in his home country and even here. Thank you, Father, because we have opportunities to see these things through these social media gadgets. Thank you, Lord, because we know you're going to prosper this ministry so that it will go even further and farther than what we even imagined. I'd like to use this opportunity to say thank you again for the presenters this morning, for Sonia's poll around the womb, so exciting and challenging. And thank you for Michelle, who has done a marvelous job of leading out in this beautiful program. Father, as everyone sets their work for the coming week and prepares to face the challenges of the week ahead. I pray, Lord, for a miracle and a breakthrough. For those who are struggling with their health, touch them, O Lord, where they need you to touch them. Father, you've given us knowledge and you've given us wisdom. And Father, you did say that my people perish for lack of knowledge. But at this time, Lord, we're asking you in a special way, please come forth for us tonight when the womb and prostate course starts. Come forth that, Lord, you would take full control of the internet and everything around the program. For every single presenter, especially the doctors, we ask, oh God, for special grace and wisdom. And Father, we pray for everyone who's presenting. Father, I just want to say thank you for this opportunity. And for every listener online or even here in this forum, the AGMM wonderful, amazing forum. Thank you. Lord, take all the glory and bless us all as we are dismissed. That next week we will meet again for more exciting and marvelous programs. In Jesus' mighty name, we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much.
Amen.
Amen. Oh, bless.
Can I just
Okay,
ask a
everybody.
quick question before you log off, Florence?
Okay, yes.
Hi, this is Donna. Is it possible that you can post that where you can make the payment on the computer here right now, because I'm just having difficulty on my phone getting in.
Right.
Yeah?
Okay.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Donna, okay. All right, Michelle, did you get that? Because you've got the payment plan with you there. Shall we directly send it to you, Donna? Maybe that was...
Yeah, because I've got someone trying to log in from overseas and they're having problems as well. So if you can send it on my laptop, it will be easier for me.
Okay, let me put it
on this
age. Let me do that for you.
AGM meeting.
Same
Thank you.
Sorry,
No problem.
Florence, same
Yes.
here, please. Same here. It's the same problem I'm having. It's Judith.
Right.
Sorry.
Could you take a screenshot, please?
All right. Michelle's going to put it up again. And if you just make it wider, Michelle, is that...
One second, Maxie, 1 second.
Okay.
Yeah. Michelle, can I ask
There
a
you go.
question, please?
Sure.
Now, this what you're putting up here. Oh, sorry. Yeah. This what you're putting up here. We can do it direct onto from here, right? This is the UK's one, right?
Yes.
Okay, because it's the same problem I'm having. As I was explaining to Florence, but I still need to speak to one of you all. Well, I'll speak to Florence or whoever is available.
All right. I tell you what, Sister Judith.
Yes.
We have a meeting straight after, but I'm going to call you, and then
you promise.
I promise, because I have to go into the meeting. So
yes, that's all right.
We're going to end now. All
okay,
right.
no problem. Yeah.
You have the same problem you're saying?
Yes.
All right. So we'll speak afterwards.
No problem.
Thank you so much for your support, and have a blessed afternoon.
Okay. All right. Have a blessed evening, guys. See you all later.
See you later. Thank you, ladies.
you.
Bless you. Looking forward to seeing you later. Bye,
Okay,
everyone.
bye-bye.
God bless.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.